Yo, good afternoon, peeps. What's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another little transfer news video for your latest Man United rundown of the day's news video. We're going to get into it all today. Do us a big favour at the start of this show and smash that like button on it. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up. Share it around if you want as well on social media. Give it a cheeky little share, retweet, etc. Post to OnlyFans, whatever. It all helps. Also, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're here live for the first time or you're on catch up later, do hit that subscribe button and get down below in the comment section and let us know your thoughts and opinions about what we're discussing today. Shout out to everyone in the live chat already. Stephen Carr, William Reedy, how you doing there, my friend? G Wolf United Gaming, oh, how you doing there, bud? Neil Driscoll, Andrew Cars, Kieran, everybody, thank you so much for getting in here. Chrissy J as well. All the rest of you legends, do it. Yeah, do get yourself involved throughout. It's an interactive show. Have your say. Get your thoughts and opinions in there about the likes of De Jong, Timber, Ten Hag, all the rest of that we're going to be discussing. So thank you for joining us as well. Alex Duncan, Luan France, William Reedy, absolute legends. Right, okay, so let's talk about Frankie De Jong, guys. AKA Frankie doesn't belong at Manchester United, it seems, because he doesn't want us, guys. That's the impression I'm getting, folks. The latest reports coming out, we've got quotes from Frankie De Jong when asked about the current situation at Barca, and more or less he's just said that he doesn't want to leave Barca again. He loves Barca. He doesn't want to leave Barca. He's aware of the links with Manchester United, but his home is Barca, and that's where he wants to stay. So this is pretty much a bit of a nightmare for Manchester United. It seems like, of course, we know the economic reasons behind this, why Barcelona are trying to offload Frankie De Jong. They don't necessarily want to sell this guy. It's just the fact that they kind of have to, because it's understood they've got to settle like hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt reasonably soon. So they are trying to restructure things. They're trying to add players whilst also restructuring things to try and improve, whilst not go backwards too far, whilst trying to address this financial situation. So, look, that's the latest. If they do sell him, it will be, from above him, of course, it will be Barcelona looking to offload for the cash. Frankie De Jong would be coming to Manchester United on in a sort of capacity where he doesn't really want to be here. I'm sure he'd be professional. I'm sure he'd play. I'm sure he'd give it his all. Look, if Barca say to him, hey, look, we've got to sell you, pal. It's not like he's just going to come to United mid-20s and then just give up, I don't think. I think he's going to want to just continue to progress and give it his all and fight. So I'm sure he's a professional player in that sense. But it's just not ideal, is it, guys? I mean, let's look at the quotes. So this is Frankie De Jong on his sale to help Barcelona's financial situation. He said, the club didn't tell me anything. They didn't propose anything to me. So, in regards to the financial situation there, we know that they're struggling. We know that they need to restructure. We know that they need to offload someone. Frankie De Jong's worth 60 or 70 mil. That's what they're trying to get for him. So there you go. And as you can see at the bottom there, Fab said a couple of hours ago that United are still pushing for Frankie, but he wants Champions League football. Nothing has changed. So if Frankie De Jong wants Champions League football, and he doesn't want to leave Barcelona, I mean, those two things there don't lead to him joining Manchester United, in my opinion. If he demands Champions League football, we don't have Champions League football to offer him. And also, for a start, the biggest thing, really, he wants to stay at Barca. So unless it is a completely forced transfer, he's not going to leave, I don't think. And if he does leave, which is still 50-50, and come to Manchester United, are we getting a truly 100% committed player here? I would argue maybe not. Listen to his quote. So he said this. He says, of course, I hear about the links to Manchester United, but the people in charge of Barca didn't tell me anything. So then I assume that there is no agreement, nothing to worry about. Contacts with Ten Hag, this is what the reporter asked, and he said, I won't tell you this. So it's kind of like, obviously it's all private behind the closed doors, but he just said simply, of course he knows about the links to Manchester United. That is being discussed. I mean, that's his plan B, isn't it? If Barca force the sale and get him out the door, he still wants to play football, so he'll come to Manchester United. But, again, this is not a player who's desperate to play for us. And I don't like that. That's a big warning sign for me, guys. That's a red flag. I don't want somebody that doesn't want to leave their current club coming to us, really. Just going to be honest, it's not perfect at all, is it? He also was talking to ESPN and he said, I prefer to stay at Barca. I said this before. Barcelona is the club of my dreams. So, I mean, could it be any more definitive than that from his point of view of him not wanting to leave Barcelona? I don't think it could be, really. And then he also talked about the contact with other clubs. I don't want to talk about rumours anymore. I feel good at Barcelona. There is no agreement. and nothing official. So, fuck Frankie de Jong, guys. No disrespect to Frankie de Jong, right? He wants to stay at Barca. That's his club. We need to move on, I think, to somebody else. Like, we need to have a look at some other, a couple of other midfielders now, in my humble opinion. This could drag on for a long time as well. That's my only concern about this. We don't want to be stood pulling our plonkers come the end of the transfer window when we need to get some business wrapped up for midfielders and improve this Manchester United side ready for the start of the pre-season so Ten Hag can get to work. So De Jong, Barca, this whole situation is going to take a bit of time. Even if he is going to be sold by Barcelona and Manchester United are going to pay the money and buy him, it's still going to potentially take a little bit of time. I mean, for a start, these guys are away on internationals at this moment in time. It's very unlikely things are going to get wrapped up over that period, I would think. So things are going to take time in regards to De Jong. I just think maybe we should move on to somebody else. Let's have a little vote in the live chat, see what you legends are saying. We've got 93 legends in here. Shout out Jimmy Jones, Numero Uno, Playmaker, Rush Marno, Udon, Clark Piggott, Assassin Gamer, the special one, Alex, Neil Driscoll, Adam Partridge, Dizzy Red Devil, and everybody else as well. Do us a big favour at the start of this show. Drop a thumbs up on it. Get your thoughts and opinions in. I'm just going to ask you, what do you want? Do you think Manchester United should progress with De Jong? Or do you think we should move on to somebody else? So just type a De Jong in the live chat or move on. Let me know what you guys think. Because if this guy doesn't want Manchester United and he truly wants to stay at Barca, that already is a bad omen, a bad start to his Manchester United career if we were to sign him, I think. So, hello there, Danger. Oh, yeah, hello, sir. Love from Vibor Sharma, India Gamer, mate. Shout out, bro. Thank you so much for getting in as well there, Danger. Nice one, bud. Appreciate that. Shout out Vibor Sharma as well. MUFC Charlie says, move on. Move on, says XL Claps. Dibby TFM says, move on. Move on, says Mark Wallace. Move on, says Gungshi. Move on, says United Forever. Hey, Gungshi. Hey, United Forever. How you guys doing? Reese says, move on. Luan says, move on. So I think we've got a pretty clear view of what's going on. And I do generally agree with that. It's not that De Jong's not a great player. It's not that he wouldn't add a lot to Manchester United side. And I'm sure Ten Hag would still want him in because, well, he's a Ten Hag player. He could play, come in and play for him. Do a good job that he wants him to do because he's from that sort of Ajax style. He knows what he can get from him. He's got that experience of coaching the guy. So I understand why Ten Hag would want to do all that he can to bring Frankie de Jong in. Plus, he is a prime player in his prime right now, 25, 26, getting better and best years ahead of him. So it does make sense to try and sign him from Ten Hag's point of view. But the biggest letdown for me is just the fact that he's come out quite clearly and said that he wants to stay at Barca. And he's aware of other clubs' links, such as Manchester United, but he's not interested in any of that. He didn't say he's not interested in Manchester United. He just basically said he's not interested in rumours right now. He's interested in just the facts and getting his head down and continuing with what he's doing. And if somebody comes out and sells him to another football club or accepts an offer from another football club, I'm sure his representatives in himself will look at all the options, look at all the offers, and if he's forced out the door, they'll have to decide where is this best destination to end up. But certainly Manchester United without the Champions League football is not a fantastic destination for him right now based on what we understand about him not wanting to go somewhere that doesn't have Champions League football, and also the fact he doesn't want to leave. So, not fantastic. Madhouse said, let Barca sit on the toilet. Clark Piggott says, this is Cesc Fabregas part 2. Could have got Kessie and Neves by now. Kessie, Barca. Yeah, good shout there, Clark Piggott. This is it. United take a long time dawdling, don't we, trying to get business done for a big name player, marquee signing type thing. Takes a long time. A la Sancho or whoever, Bruno. You know, these guys, they seem to take a lot of time to do the business. But again, this is it. We just need to sort of dead off the Frankie de Jong transfer, in my opinion now. Move on to the next midfield option and try and sign somebody, like you say, Ruben Neves would be a fantastic signing for us, wouldn't he? He's probably available for a little bit less than Frankie de Jong costs anyway. Premier League experience, hungry, taking a step up to Manchester United. Not really somebody that's like, oh, you know what, it's not my first choice. I'd rather stay at Barca, but seeing as there's no possibility of that, I'm going to have to go play for Man United in the Europa. We don't want somebody like that. I think if you look at, Neves playing for Wolves is a good club, don't get me wrong, but Man United's a huge club compared to Wolves, and I think he would know the opportunity that presents himself playing for a club like United. So he's got that Portuguese connection there as well. Ronaldo, Bruno, Dallo, these guys all there. So all signs lead, in my mind, to us moving on to the next target, which would hopefully be somebody like Ruben Neves. Now, in regards to midfielders, so just quickly, guys, in regards to midfielders, I mean, let me ask you, put one footballer in the live chat, one midfielder that you would like to see Manchester United sign. But really, if we're being honest, there's probably a short list of about, I don't know, 5 or 6 midfielders that we could realistically go and get. So there is players like Ruben Neves, of course. There's Jong. There's Tielemans. There's Bissouma is also a player that's been linked, previously over at Brighton. Maybe he's got some off-the-field stuff going on at the moment, though. N'Golo Kante is definitely being linked this summer, rightly or wrongly, whether or not that would make sense for United. I mean, he's getting on a bit. He's only 31, though. Probably still would be epic for a couple of seasons, but big money just to lose him in a couple of years on a free. Chelsea would be cashing in, so to speak, but no doubt a great player. If you're talking about improving Man United's central defensive midfield right now, I mean, yeah, N'Golo Kante would do that for you in the short term. So let's have a little vote. So really, I see it as being a 5 or a 6 man shortlist of players we could realistically go and get in the midfield. De Jong, Kante, Neves, Tielemans, and I guess Bissouma is a good shout as well over at Brighton because he's obtainable for not that much money. So let's have a little look at the chat, see what you guys are saying. Bissouma says Malps. Kimmich says the special one. Enzo Fernandez says playmaker. Gungshi says Bissouma. Neves. Amida Red, how you doing there, says Bowen. Vlasic says Jimmy Jones. Neves and Bissouma, says Neil Driscoll. Yeah, nice one. Rejection again for United, says the Diamond 94. Right, okay, yeah, well, that's the situation we're in, mate. No Champions League football's going to hinder us. It really is. Like, people like Frankie de Jong, if they've got 2 or 3 different options on the table, even if Barca do have to sell him and they offer him to PSG or, an Italian club, and Man United and the other clubs have got Champions League football, he may well go and play for them if that's what he craves the most. So definitely we are in a bit of a negative position in regards to transfer negotiations. I think we have to look at some of these lesser players like Bissouma, like Neves, like these guys, not saying they're lesser players, but they're playing for lesser clubs. And we need to go and try and pinch them off of those clubs and convince them to come to Manchester United. It should be easy to convince a Brighton player to come, no disrespect to Brighton, or it should be easy to convince a Wolves player to come. The difficult part really is convincing the club to part ways with them for a reasonable amount of money. But we have got a little bit of an update in regards to Ruben Neves this afternoon. So technical director Scott Sellers over at Wolverhampton Wanderers says that he's realistic about the chances of retaining the services of midfielder Ruben Neves. So he said Ruben's a top player. He's been fantastic this season and once again shown his quality. Also, I think he's shown how happy he is here, and that is something we all at the club know well. The ideal situation is that we want him to stay. I've spoken to him about it, but I'm also realistic that when you have an outstanding player, the top clubs are going to come and see what the situation is. It will be discussed what is right for the club, and certainly is something we'll look at. So, some interesting comments from the technical director Scott says. But what does this indicate? Well, he's got 2 years left on his contract. If Wolves are going to cash in and get decent money for him, they kind of have to sell him this summer, or they have to wrap him up to a new deal, which may well happen if he's really happy at Wolves, he really wants to stay at Wolves, then yeah, I guess that could happen. But you would think now with what's happened with De Jong announcing or basically discussing and talking about the fact that he wants to stay at Barca, you would think that we would move on to Ruben Neves now. So let's hope we do go in for Ruben Neves. It's just this classic transfer merry-go-round rubbish from Man United, unfortunately. There's nothing decisive. There's nothing definitive about Man United in the transfer window. There wasn't last season. There wasn't previous years gone by with bloody Woodward clown and people overseeing things and all sorts. And there doesn't seem to be now, as sad as it is to say. We have got the whole of June to get all the business wrapped up, of course. But, I mean, it's quite a... It's just disappointing when other clubs are already doing stuff and we are not. So there you go, guys. Ruben Neves is hopefully the next target. Manchester United should be looking at various midfielders that we discussed now. I want to talk about this as well very quickly because this annoys me, the fact that we're not linked here. So check this out at this moment. So this is an update for an hour or so ago from Fabrizio Romano, right? And it says, Arsenal is still interested in Yuri Tielemans. Plans have not changed. He's a target for the midfield, but it's not an imminent deal as negotiations will take some time. 2 other clubs are also in the race for Tielemans. He's going to leave Leicester this summer. So maybe we are one of the 2 other clubs that's interested, but we damn well should be. We damn well should be because he's got like a year left on his contract. He's resigned to leaving. They're resigned to losing him. He's about to, he's about to leave on a free transfer next summer unless they cash in. I think he's made it clear that he doesn't want to stay at Leicester and he's looking for a different club. Okay, maybe he is looking for a Champions League club. Well, Arsenal ain't a Champions League club either, so we could definitely best Arsenal to the signing of Youri Tielemans, surely. So I would take Tielemans at the football club in a heartbeat. Smash a one in the like if you smash a one in the chat, should I say, if you agree with me, because I definitely think that this guy would be a good sort of, creative midfielder for us to get in there, proven again in the Premier League. The right sort of age. Gungshi says Tielemans is a good player. I'd definitely take him. Scott, Gungshi, Chrissy, Johnny, Alex, all agree. Thank you very much, dudes. Yeah, must say I think he would be a good signing and the right sort of signing, as I said, that fits into that category. Leicester are a good team, but they're not as big a team as Manchester United. Maybe some people would say that, they've won it more recently, but in all fairness, Man United's just a bigger club than Leicester. Leicester are a good club. Leicester have got good owners. Leicester are trying to build in the right direction. They've had a bad season, but they are a good club, but they're not as big as United. So if United came and knocking, surely Tielemans would be interested in joining. Days Gone says Tchouaméni's better. Tchouaméni is a good signing, would be a great signing, but again, I think he wants to go to Real or somewhere where there's Champions League football. The understanding we have at this moment from Tchouaméni is that he doesn't really want to join any club like Manchester United right now. He is looking for the top elite clubs in Europe. And I'm sorry to say, guys, Man United, in terms of competition at least, in terms of history and size of club and supporters and commercial revenue and all that, we're right at the top. We're right near the top. But in terms of actuality, where we actually are competing for things, well, we're not likely to win the Premier League. We're not likely to get trophies necessarily this season. We're not likely to, we're not in the Champions League. So we have to be realistic and say that a lot of these players are looking to go to the top few clubs in the world. That's why United are not even being discussed for players like Mbappe or Haaland or any of these guys ever anymore, Lewandowski, because we can't offer them what they need. We don't have the top tier football to offer them. We don't have the ability to win trophies in the short term. Maybe we do if we get super lucky, right? And Ten Hag does everything amazing and it all goes to plan. But really, it's a rebuild job for a couple of seasons here. So nobody's going to come if they want to get short-term trophies or short-term success, play at the top level of football right now. Sadly, United are just a little bit of the way off. And that's why Ten Hag's come in, because it's a rebuild. Yeah, that's right, Bell says. We fucked him over after his loan. He waited all summer on the United deal, then signed for Leicester, says Bell691. Malp says no chance for Tchouaméni, unfortunately. So there you go. In regards to the options that we've got, look, Arsenal are supposedly interested in signing Youri Tielemans. Man United should be interested in signing Youri Tielemans. If we can't sign De Jong, we've got to go look at signing other midfielders. Now, Tielemans doesn't necessarily help you with your out-and-out defensive mid. But just imagine if you could, I don't know, if you could get some business done for a proper defensive midfielder as well. Or if you could do something crazy like, beyond the realms of possibility, like actually have ambition and actually sign a couple of players in midfield to help our gash midfield. Maybe if we ended up with Ruben Neves and Tielemans, could you imagine that? That would be a much better midfield for us. That would control the game a lot better. We wouldn't give the ball away as much as we do with the likes of Gash, McFred and McTominay in there. So I think that would instantly improve us overnight. They're not Champions League players. They're not players that are playing for Champions League teams, so we should be able to go and get them for the right price. It's just a no-brainer for me. Fire, yeah, no-brainer. Definitely need to sign Enzo Fernandez, says Rico Perch. Fair play. A couple of people mentioned this guy as well. Gungshi, I disagree. Defense. So Jonathan thinks we should improve the defense more. Definitely we need to sign a centre-back. There's talks of Timber. We'll get onto that in a moment, of course. The latest information on Jury and Timber. We'll get onto that just a moment after this. But yeah, the midfield, the defence, they're both shite, Jonathan. They are both shite. But I just look at, well, okay, you could get away with Luke Shaw for another season. You get away with Varane if he's going to stay reasonably fit. Maguire's shite and everybody else is shite. The right-back position's in question as well. But as long as you do get one proper defender in there, well, you could just about get by. But the midfield, what do we want? Do we want to sign one midfielder and then just have the possibility of starting with McTominay alongside them or Fred alongside them? Or I don't think we've got enough quality in the midfield. We need better ballers, especially for Ten Hag, who's going to want to play, that more Ajax total football style that he's seen. And I think he wants ball players. He wants people to control possession, control the game as well. And just, incisive with their passing. Yeah, that's what he wants. Not somebody who's going to give the ball away to opposition every 2 seconds, a la Scotty McTominay and Fred. Ellie, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for getting in here. She says, yo, slags, all like the video and subscribe. Thank you so much there, Ellie. Yes, hope you're good today. And everybody, please do as Ellie says there. Smash that like button. Let's get this one to 100 likes. Rushy says we've got 63 likes. We can do better than that. Let's have a little Bacon Brigade like spike. Also, yeah, drop a like on it. It helps us out, boosts us up there on the algorithm, and competes with the clickbait merchants and the shithouses. So thank you very much for that, Ellie, and everybody else as well. 0793 says you need 2 at least. I agree with you, yeah. Malp says midfield is the priority. We need 2. Couldn't agree more. If we only signed 4 players this summer, to me it'd be 1 centre-back. Something like, yeah, Timber would be fantastic. Pau Torres. And then 2 midfielders, Ruben Neves and Tielemans would be my ideal duo, really, realistic as well. And then up top, Darwin Núñez or somebody of that caliber, somebody of that ilk. That way, yeah, that's kind of, it's realistic to obtain all of those players, but also it's likely you could sign these players, I think. That none of them are beyond the realms of possibility in terms of transfer fees either. Okay, there's some big ones in there. Would Wolves accept less than, I don't know, 60 million for Neves? Well, they'd have to, really, because we can't pay 60 plus million for Neves. It's just craziness. Would Darwin Núñez be available for less than 60 million or 60, 70 million? I mean, are United prepared to pay that money? Also, are we able to recoup cash from other players being sold? Will Wan-Bissaka move on? There are some fresh links with Wan-Bissaka to Roma, guys. I don't know if you've seen any of this today, but Wan-Bissaka is being linked with a move to Roma this summer as well. He's also got a link to Crystal Palace, but Jose Mourinho is pretty much linked with any sort of defensive Man United player. I'm sure Matic is high on his list as well, you know. Like Jose's going to be sniffing around some of these players. Maybe Dalot as well with a Portuguese connection. Some of these players, you know, might do well over there, but I just said anyway. So there are links with some players who we could offload to get more money to reinvest. So maybe we could sign 4 top players for decent money. 35 mil during Timber, 40 mil during Timber, whatever it would be. 40 million is too much. 35 million, whatever it may be. I mean, there are some reports coming out that there's already a fee agreed. I mean, there's international duty there. It's unlikely. I mean, we haven't seen anything from an official, reliable source that says that the fee is 100%, you know, agreed between the 2 clubs yet, unless something's come out during this show. But, you know, so that is unfortunate. We were looking for, hopefully, for some more concrete news on that today. We'll give you the latest as it happens. But, I mean, there are some reports out there that are every day that's happened, but nothing from an official, reliable source, really. So we've got to just wait for confirmation, wait for a bit more news before we can say that Jurriën Timber is going ahead for this amount of money or that amount of money. But let's say you do spend 35 or 40 mil on that guy. Then you get Darwin Núñez for 60, you get Ruben Neves for 50, you get Tielemans for 45. That's a lot of money, guys. It really is a lot of money. But if you recoup, I don't know, 50 or 60 million by selling a handful of gash players, Wan-Bissaka maybe, not that he's gash, but you know what I mean, Bailly, just get rid of some players, Maguire, whoever you can get rid of and offload to recoup cash, do it. Spot on, he is, Jonathan Gallagher. He is, yep. Varane is very injury prone, however. Very true. Well, let's see what Ten Hag does, because he might come in there. If Ten Hag's going to buy Torres and Timber, he's gonna be selling a couple of defenders, isn't he? Definitely. Because we can't have all those defenders in the club. So I think that'd be an indicator that the slabby Maguire is not the guy for him. And maybe Bailly would be moving on as well. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, Varane is injury prone. We do need to address the defence. But if Varane is fit, he's probably deserving to play. I think he's our best defender. If he's not fit, that is an issue. You need somebody to come in. So, in an ideal world, Jonathan, we sign at least 5 players this window. We sign Timber, Torres, Tielemans, Neves, Darwin Núñez. What an amazing window that would be. I mean, that's the sort of window Manchester United need to have as well, in terms of ambition and how far we are away from the top sides. Like, if we really want to have a go of it and give Ten Hag what he needs, he does need those 5 signings, really. Right, at least. And then there's still positions you would look to strengthen in the team. You know, the wing-back position, but if you've got, you know, also the right wing, you know, or either wing, it's like you've got to have a look at strengthening all areas of the team. But really, 5 signings, if you get those 5 signings, Man United would be in a very good position. Yeah, Chinmay Takuria, how you doing? He says, you know how United is. They only want marquee signings. If Basuma does come, I would lose my shit. Hey, fair play, Chinmay. It seems like it, doesn't it? They always work on these big marquee names, the ones that are going to open markets in certain other countries, sell shirts. You know, they are interested in all of that, aren't they? You're spot on there. It seems like they need to tick off the commercial box first before they sign any of these players. So it is very, very frustrating. Right, guys, let's give you the latest update on Jurriën Timber now. But thank you all. We will have a big Q&A at the end of this video as well. So make sure you stick around to the end. We'll have a big Q&A at the end. But also, let me just get into the... So there's the news about Tielemans. That pisses me off. United need to go and get Tielemans. Absolutely go and get him. Go and get Ruben Neves as well. Neves and Tielemans, what a midfield improvement that would be for Manchester United if we just had the cojones to actually go and get them. A0 Degrees, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, mate. Appreciate you, dude. Let's get a sue in the chat. He says, last season performances proved we already have at least 11 players who don't want to be at Manchester United. Why are we trying to sign another player that doesn't want to be at Man United? This club pisses me off. Great comment there, 0 Degrees, man. And I have to say that I agree. I hope we move on now from De Jong. But I think that Ten Hag wanted to sign De Jong. So this is the situation as I see it. He's come in. He's got that relationship with De Jong. Barca's with their financial situation, they need to offload somebody. So it's possibly on the table there if the price is right for both parties. So for that reason, Ten Hag was interested because he's got that history, that relationship working with De Jong. But now we've seen the quotes from De Jong. Now we've reaffirmed that he wants to stay at Barcelona and that he's not really looking or talking about the rumours. And if he is sold from Barcelona, it's not going to be his desire. It will just be a second place, second best place for him to come would be Manchester United if that's one of the offers that's on the table. I agree. We don't want that 0 Degrees, mate. And now that that is the situation, I just hope that we do move on from this Frankie de Jong transfer. I think it's time to dead it off and move on to the next signing like Ruben Neves, Tielemans, somebody along that line. So I'm with you, 0 Degrees. I just hope that Ten Hag feels the same, although maybe, let's just look at it from this point of view. Ten Hag wants a player. He's got his man in his mind that he wants, and he wants him. He wants to do everything he can to get him. If he was given the opportunity to sign De Jong, even though he doesn't really want to leave Barca, I'm sure he would take it because he wants a quality player. Now, De Jong, just because he's pushed out the door at Barca, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play like absolute gash for Manchester United. I think he'll still be a committed professional player and still give it his all. So I'm sure Ten Hag's thinking of that point of view as well. But it's just like, if your heart's not 100% in it, then it just doesn't fit right. It just doesn't sit right or fit right for Manchester United to have somebody play for us who just doesn't really want to be here, who'd rather be sunning it over in Barca. We don't really want that. I agree. It's not an ideal scenario at all. It's another risk as well because are you going to get 100% out of him, or is he just coming for a payday and a holiday? Like a lot of players I've done over the years. We've seen a lot of big name signings come in with hype and for huge money, expectations, thinking they're going to do good things, and they just do nothing. They're very disappointed. A la Paul Pogba or whoever, Alexis Sanchez. So many bad signings, so we've got to be careful. I'm with you, mate. Move on. Thank you very much, Jimmy Jones, Piggy's Pork Posse. Chris Barker says, Frankie de Jong was never coming. Wake up. Well, we never said he was coming, to be fair, Chris Barker. We've always said it's in limbo, 50-51, depends on two factors, really, whether or not he's staying and wants to stay at Barca, which is the main one, and secondly, whether or not he would go to a club like Manchester United without Champions League football right now, which seems another sticking point as well for him. So there you go. I mean, a lot of people a lot of other channels or a lot of news outlets may have reported previously that this deal was like quite close, but we have never said that. We have always said that it's just really up in the air, that one. It's not the most realistic of signings. It's a possibility. Ten Hag would want him, definitely. He's his priority, as we know. But because of all the factors there with Barca and having to sell players, and do they sign players and restructure, or do they just stick with what they've got and restructure elsewhere as well? There's so many factors as to how that transfer could fall down. But I agree with what Nosy Bonk said, precisely. Nosy Bonk, great comment. He says, it was worth exploring, move on. So from United's point of view and Ten Hag's point of view, definitely, if you want to try and get your main man, go and see if he's interested. Go engage the interest from Barca, negotiate with them, see what sort of figures would be bandied around in terms of transfer fees. And then, of course, you've got to decide if the player's interested with the representatives, discussions, all these sorts of things. Early doors discussions is what's taken place, and they've not been the most positive of talks, it seems. It seems that Frankie de Jong is a Barcelona player and he wants to stay a Barcelona player. So, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's only me, Mix. As clock is ticking, time to walk away from this deal. That's it. Move on now. We've got our answer. We did explore this. It was good to explore this transfer because what a good signing it would have been if he was interested. Big name. If Barca really didn't want him, if he wasn't happy at Barca, then it would have been a good signing. But because of the fact he wants to stay, I don't think it is, and we have to move on. Great shout, guys. Okay, let me get into the next business then, which is Jury and Timber, guys. So, as we said, there are some reports from... Oh, shit. Sorry, guys, I just dropped the bottle of water all over the floor. It was just pouring out, so I had to pick it up. Anyway, Jurrien Timber has broken his silence, basically, on the situation with Manchester United. He's been speaking. We've got some quotes from him here. I mean, he's had a very impressive season, hasn't he, this guy? But this is what he said. He said he was speaking to the Telegraph over in the Netherlands, and he said, of course, I can still develop myself at Ajax. I am 100% sure of that. I don't have the feeling that I'm done at this club, but I can develop myself at other clubs too. So he did add that as well, you know. So it seems like, I mean, if you listen to what he said, he's obviously very happy at Ajax. He's only 20 as well. You know, he said in the end, my gut feeling will be the deciding factor. So in regards to his future, he's obviously openly talking about it. He also said this. So he quoted by saying, as the Telegraph, the picture has to be right. He says, you can go to a big club, but if you're not going to play there, it's better to stay with Ajax. And Ajax is also a big club. We play Champions League football, and I play there together with the best players of the Netherlands. That is not nothing. Of course, I can develop further at Ajax. I'm 100% sure of that. I don't feel like I'm done at the club, but I can also develop at other clubs. So that's the full quote in regards to Jurrien Timber, okay? So, look, I think he sounds like somebody who's got his head really switched on, screwed on here, guys. You know, he's actually quite aware that the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and that if he's played a lot of times for Ajax this season and developed really, really well. He's played a lot of games in different competitions as well, like the Champions League, getting great experience. Only 20. He's right. It wouldn't hurt him to stay in the Eredivisie for another year to develop, would it, from his point of view? So I think there has to be assurances made from Manchester United there, from Ten Hag, of course, that he will get quite a lot of game time. So if that is going to happen, though, Man United have to offload some centre-backs. We've got to get rid of some defenders and maybe a right-back too. We know that Jurrien Timber played 6 or 7 times for Ajax this last season, just gone at right-back also. So there's that versatility there. So that means that he can play quite a few games, I suppose, throughout the course of the season, if he's going to be coming in and doing a job at right-back every now and then, and also playing in a back two in the centre-back positions alongside, I don't know, Varane. Then that makes a heck of a lot of sense, doesn't it? To have somebody come in who can be versatile, get game time, get a lot of appearances in different positions. But it does mean that players like Slabby Maguire are going to have to maybe do one. You know, because let's face it, if Maguire's number one choice at Man United next season, which God forbid if he is, Ten Hag's having a mare. But if Maguire and Varane are still the number one choice next season, say, then where's Timber going to play? He's not an out-and-out right-back. He'd be coming in to be the centre-back. He's just a centre-back that can play at right-back. He's still young, but it's like he's going to want to play games. And if he's sat behind watching the human slabby friginator, Slabby Maguire, stink it up and getting the team every single week, then that's going to frustrate him. He would be better off being at Ajax. Look at Donny van der Beek when he's come. It's not all sunshine and roses for these players coming into Man United. You might be thinking you're stepping up to this big club where you've got great opportunities, but look at what happened to Donny, and it's only Ten Hag coming in now that's sort of given Donny a new lease of life maybe at the club, and we don't know that yet for sure. But Donny struggled at this football club. He's an Ajax player that came over. He wasn't given any chances. He didn't develop at all. Donny would have been better off staying at Ajax 100%. So, you know, for his own personal football development. So same could be said for Timber here. Unless he's going to get game time, unless he is given assurances by Ten Hag that he'll play regularly, then you can see what he's saying here. So he seems quite switched on. He's got the right mentality, I think. He's interested in developing, interested in getting better, interested in playing. So hopefully Man United give him those assurances. And of course, the money at United's going to be great. The opportunity at United's massive. But like he's just said there, he said, we play in the Champions League and I play there together with the best players in the Netherlands. So it's not like he's in a bad situation at 20 years of age. Absolutely. So there you go, guys. Just a little bit on Jurrien Timber's latest situation. Those are the quotes from him where he's speaking to the Telegraph ahead of the internationals with the Netherlands. Look, this guy, we need to get this guy, don't we? We need to get this guy. But £40 million is too much. Really, we have to spend somewhere in the close to the region of 35, maybe a few add-ons and things like that down the road in a couple of years type thing, if he's got X amount of appearances for us, etc. But right now, yeah, we have to restructure or we have to structure that money in a strategic way throughout this transfer window to sign lots of different players. I'm sorry, but 20-year-old Timber, £40+ million, it's just like, it's just too much money, you know. We have to do a bit more of a realistic transfer for this. So I think there's a little bit of negotiation left on this one, guys. That's my personal opinion. Manchester United and Ajax trying to sort this out. The internationals are on, right? So the transfer window opens, when is it? In about a couple of weeks, is it? I think, I don't know. Is it the wait a sec. Is it the 1st of July or the 10th of June? Transfer window. For some reason, I've got both of those dates in my head. When does the summer transfer window open and close? I'm having a mare here. The 10th of June. Yes. Nice. So it opens. So we've got a bit of time here. Obviously, the internationals, right? So those guys are on international duty. The international duty finishes, I think, around about the 14th of June, right? So are we expected to announce and get any of these deals done before then? I would say no. So let me ask the live chat, though. Do you think... So the Netherlands' last match is on June the 14th. The transfer window officially opens on June 10th. United's first day of pre-season training is on June 27th. So, you know, but we have 15 players away on international duty, right? So think about this. So let me just ask you this. Do you think we will get a signing signed, sealed, not delivered, obviously, because they're on international duty, but do you think we'll actually announce a signing before the end of this little international period, before like June the 14th? Let us know what you think. Yes or no in the live chat. June the 10th is the end of the start of the window, but the internationals, Netherlands last match is June the 14th. Maybe we can get him for 39 if they get Maguire, says Wrestle Kurt. You'd probably have to give him 50 million plus Maguire, dude. Jonathan says, was a mistake getting Donny 35 million down the drain. Oh, Jonathan Gallagher with his hatred for Donny there. Listen, mate, he hasn't had the chance at the club properly yet. He's not set the world light. I can't say that he's been amazing for us, but he's not really had the chance, mate. We went through this with Ole Gunnar giving him about fucking 7 minutes on the pitch this whole season. He's barely had any opportunities. So you've got to say that Donny, maybe under Ten Hag, could be given chances and would maybe revitalise himself, would maybe actually kick on. He's still young. So I actually think Donny needs a chance. Hashtag free Donny. Mark Wallace says yes. Bell says X. Mark Egan says no chance. Nope, it's Man United, says Nikolai Lindquist. One Timber says Madhouse. So yeah, because it's Man United and we've let these internationals go now. It's just classic mismanagement from the club, isn't it? We've focused all our attention on De Jong and we haven't been able to get any of the other business done. We're also having those negotiations with Ajax. Understandably, they want to get as much money as they can for him. So it's not like a quick negotiation. I get that. He is a talent. There is interest from some other clubs as well, and they want to get as much money as they can. But United just need to get this money spent really and sign these players and get them in so we can start work as soon as the preseason does begin. So interesting comments there from Timber. Things don't look fantastic for us signing this guy anytime in the next imminent couple of days or anything, because obviously he's away on international duty, and those sorts of comments from him indicate that he would quite like to, he wouldn't mind staying at Ajax. Yeah, that's right, Mark Wallace. With 6 out of contract, they will sign at least 4. Yeah, and I think maybe even 1 or 2 others as well, like maybe a cheeky little backup goalkeeper on a free, maybe a cheeky little Christian Eriksen type free transfer signing would be nice. I mean, there's other clubs done business. Gerrard's done the business with Villa. It pisses me off, it really does. You think Ten Hag will probably give Donny a chance? Me too, Gungshi. Me too. I really think he'll give him some opportunities. Of course, he's come from his system before, so he's a player that he knows can do the job for him in that league anyway, and in the Champions League previously. So Donny van de Beek's a good player. What I would say about Donny is, you know, he's kind of like, this is going to sound a bit ridiculous, and I've said this before on the channel, so sorry for repeating myself to anybody that's watched this a long time, but probably a lot of you haven't heard this analogy. I consider him to be similar to a Dutch Paul Scholes. Now, he's obviously not as good as Paul Scholes. He hasn't done anything like Paul Scholes. But he's not outstanding at any like physical aspect, right? He's not huge, he's not strong, he's not quick. But you know what? He's a baller. He's somebody that he's got vision. He's somebody that keeps on the ball, protects the ball well. You know, he's somebody that is not just going to headless chicken it to the opposition like McTominay was confronted with an opposition player in his face. No, he's the type of player to turn around, shield the ball, pass it to somebody in space. That's the type of player he is. Whenever I've watched him play in the midfield for Manchester United, he's somebody that controls the game. He's somebody that doesn't give the ball away a lot. And he's somebody that I think has the potential to be that sort of controlling player for us. I'm not saying he's anywhere near as good as Paul Scholes, right? Don't hear me out. I'm just saying he's that type of player where, you know, it's all about the creation, the technique, the holding of the ball, the control of the ball. It's not about physicality. It's not about, you know, blistering pace or anything like that. So he's got potential. He's got potential, right? He's got potential. He needs a chance this season. and he could actually flourish. We'll see. Ten Hag is a very, very interesting manager when it comes to stylistic football and how his Ajax side have played. I think he would definitely be giving Donny some chances this season to be a creative spark in that midfield. Gunshi says, does anyone think there's a chance Ten Hag may want to bring Daley Blind back to United? Dude, Daley Blind would be a decent signing, wouldn't he? Although he's like 32, 33 now, I think. He's getting on a bit, isn't he, Daley? But we could do worse than Daley. Probably should have never sold Daley. He was versatile, play left back, CDM, centre back if you need. You know, he's absolutely a very versatile player. So maybe I could see him doing it, Gunshi. I could see him doing it. He'd probably be available for not very much, and he's a very good, versatile player. It's an interesting shout. Okay, so Jurriën Timber reportedly doesn't mind staying. His gut feeling will be the deciding factor. That's what he said. You know, just to cap it off, his gut feeling will be the deciding factor. So if he's given certain assurances that he will get game time at United and the contract's good and everything, I'm sure he wants to come. If there's still the possibility that he's going to be sat behind Harry Maguire, just watching on and not playing games, surely he's not going to want to come this season. That's my personal opinion. So, look, United's still a bit of work to do on this. It sounds like we are progressing. He knows that obviously that's all going on behind the scenes, that Man United are trying to negotiate with Ajax. He knows that's all going on. He seems very happy about his situation. And if it does happen, then great. I'm sure he will be happy. And if it doesn't, then, well, he's still going to develop at Ajax. But the price has to be right for United. If they're asking for too much money, that's where it could fall down. Okay, so Jurriën Timber keen to stay or keen to play at Ajax if there cannot be any, games and opportunities there. Playing at Ajax and developing there would be better than just sitting on the bench at Manchester United, I think. Okay then, right, let's just get into a couple of other little things, guys, before we get into the live chat. So just regards quickly to Darwin Núñez. So Man United are still pursuing a deal with Darwin Núñez. There's reports as well that Liverpool and Manchester United meet Darwin Núñez representatives. So there's a report earlier on today that, as I say, the representatives, the Uruguay international, have been holding discussions with several English teams today, including Liverpool and United. But apparently playing Champions League football is a priority for Núñez. So, but Man United are definitely still high up there in regards to potential suitors for this guy, teams that could take him on. There are other clubs as well who are supposedly interested. Newcastle United apparently could spend the money big to get Darwin Núñez in. I mean, that would piss me off if we lost out to bloody Newcastle just because they're paying shitloads more cash and whatnot. And then Tottenham Hotspur also apparently have some interest in Darwin Núñez as well. So I guess remains to be seen whether or not, what happens with their forward players. But Darwin Núñez could be tempted to go to Man United, of course. We are a huge club. We can offer him big money as well, big club. But if what he desires is like the other players, like we discussed, Champions League football, then, well, he's not going to go to United, is he? So there you go. Thank you, Rushmano. He says, subscribe to the channel. Nice one, Rushy. Yes, guys, if you're here for the first time, just give you a bit of a backstory of what we do here. We discuss all the latest United news in a no bullshit, no clickbait way, where there's no done deal stuff here. There's no, bullshit taglines to get you in that say, oh, this deal's done or this is agreed or any bullshit when it's not. When it is, we report that it is. But when it's not, we don't. We give you all the updates here, though, in a no bullshit way. So if you do enjoy the show, make sure you are subscribing to the channel and getting your bell icon clicked so you get notifications when we post every day. And also drop that like on the video and all that. Yeah, that's it, Neil D'Souza. Núñez looking for Champions League football, like a lot of these players will be. So because of that, Man United just do not have that to offer these players. It's possible he could be going to a team like, Spurs, if they were interested in him. Or Liverpool are supposedly interested, but hopefully not, guys. We know that Mane may well be leaving Liverpool this summer. It seems like he will be going to Bayern. So if that's the case, maybe they would just like to bolster with a few more forward options. Yeah, that would be a concern, wouldn't it? Okay, so we are pursuing Darwin Núñez, but nothing much more in those states, guys, but we're pursuing the guy. Also, United have appointed a new deputy football director. Andy O'Boyle has been appointed as Manchester United's deputy football director, further strengthening the leadership across the club's football department. This is what it says on manunited.com. O'Boyle will leave his current role as head of elite performance at the Premier League to join United this summer. He will provide support to John Murtough, football director, in driving the club's football strategy across the first team, academy and women's team. The appointment marks a return to Carrington for O'Boyle 16 years after he served as a coach in our academy, working with young players, including Marcus Rashford. He's probably shite then. I'm just joking. We're delighted to welcome Andy back to Manchester United to take up this important role in the club's leadership, says Murtaugh. Andy has experience across all technical areas of football, from fitness and sports science to scouting and recruitment. This will make him a valuable addition to my team at Carrington as we continue to strengthen leadership and strategic planning across all our football activities. So, look, good news. I guess it's good news, guys. If he's a proper football man, he could come in and help. Remains to be seen if we're actually benefit from it. You know, it seems good. He seems like he's got a connection with the club. He's been here previously. So, you know, it's a behind-the-scenes appointment. It is what it is. It's just, we'll just have to wait and see if this has any sort of a beneficial effect on us, or if it's just another bloody suit in the background. But at least he's got some sort of football, history there. Eddie's Football Waffle, thank you very much. How are you today, pal? He says, we've got 110 likes. That's brilliant. Sangare, says JT. Yeah, fair enough. He would be a good shout as well. Hey there, Talk MU. How are you doing there, boss? Great to see you. Marky Wallace, what's going on there? Says, what the F, Madhouse? Are you a spy? O'Boyle is a Klopp spy, says Madhouse. What are you on about? Could you imagine that? We've got a mole in there from the Scousieries. Right, also, yeah, quickly, I just wanted to mention that Jose Mourinho is understandably interested in Aaron Wan-Bissaka for Roma. He's been identified as a potential summer signing for them. Interesting. In Italy, it's said that they're monitoring the developments with Wan-Bissaka, who is no longer, of course, a first-choice player at Manchester United, and especially with Ten Hag coming in, he may well be offered to clubs such as Palace and maybe even Roma and some other clubs as well, to try and indicate, which club he wants to go to, I suppose. But, we'll have to see. I mean, Roma would be of interest. Crystal Palace is of interest. Maybe this guy could be available for 25, 35 million, somewhere around about there for some of these clubs. So interesting one. And we'd probably rather see him sold abroad than sold to the likes of Crystal Palace and all fairness. Not that Crystal Palace are a rival for us, but it's just, if you can sell them abroad, it makes sense. Also, just very quickly, an update on Andreas Pereira. So we knew that he was on loan to a Brazilian team, Flamengo, and he appeared 45 games across all competitions for the Brazilian team, directly contributing to 9 goals this season. So he's had an interesting season, developing a little bit, but his agent has confirmed that negotiations have now broken down with Flamengo, and he's going to return to European football. So the agreement between Flamengo and Man United to keep Pereira has definitely collapsed. So there you go, guys. That's an update that came out late last night. Completely collapsed. Andreas Pereira was potentially going to be going to Flamengo. Seems like he's going to be coming back to Manchester United now. Definitely another player we need to try and get rid of. All right, okay, so I'm going to get into the live chat now for a bit of a Q&A. So just to confirm what we've been discussing in this video very quickly, Frankie de Jong seems like he wants to stay at Barcelona. The link to Manchester United is just a backup option, really. If Barca need to sell him, if they force the sale, he will come to United, I suppose, if he's pushed out the door. But by his comments, but by what he said from his comments, it doesn't look like he really wants to come. He says, of course, I hear about the links to Manchester United, but the people in charge of Barca didn't tell me anything. So then he was asked, so then I assume there's no agreement, nothing to worry about, contact with Ten Hag. He said, I won't tell you this. And then he also said, I prefer to stay at Barca. I said this before, Barcelona is the club of my dreams. Contact with other clubs? I don't want to talk about rumours anymore. I feel good at Barcelona. There is no agreement and nothing official. So, it's pretty clear really he wants to stay at Barcelona. Maybe he still would go to United if pushed out the door at Barca, but do we want a player that doesn't really want to be here? No. So, yeah. Hey, thank you, Rush Mano, for the £5 super chat, you legend. He says, 6 months too late for O'Boyle. Murtaugh needs as much help as possible. Yeah, spot on there, Rush Mano, absolutely. And it's just so annoying. You look at behind the scenes, what happened with Ralph Rangnick last few days. It's just the Glazers knowing that this guy's too much of a realist for them, and they don't want to have somebody there that maybe is going to be open and honest book to the media or the press, or, be a little bit of a troublemaker from their point of view. They just want a bunch of yes men to generate the cash for them. They don't want people who are eager and open to spending the cash to actually improving and helping the football team. That's not what they want. So that's what's happened there, I think. Yeah, he did take the Austria job, but, it's a disgrace. I mean, hashtag Glazers out. Absolutely, Shamrez Khan. Hashtag Glazers out, because these wankers, there's no other word for it, still shackling this football club, still destroying the creative vision that we could have as a football team. Never mind the club. Yeah, okay, that's important, obviously, all the commercial aspects, but that's all they're interested in, is using this brand to generate cash and languish us in debt and suck out money for their own purposes and their own gains. So, yeah, we need more football men in. Rangnick should have been in. As much as I don't think Rangnick did a good job as a coach, he had done a great job at RB Leipzig behind the scenes, and I'm sure he's a great football man. He's got great football knowledge. He's a football man through and through. Managed 600-odd games throughout his career, you know, all the behind-the-scenes work he's done at various football clubs as well. Proper football man. Do we want that? No, apparently not. Apparently we just sack him off because, you know, just because we don't want somebody that's a troublemaker. We don't want somebody that's a realist or says it how it is or is open and honest. Just goes to show you how shite this club is run. Anyway, yeah, that's right. Well, fair enough, Stephen. He says we need players, not staff. Some may argue it's more important the other way around, in all fairness, Stephen Carr. Like, as toxic, as bad as this football club is in terms of the squad and the playing squad, man, it's toxic as hell in some of the backroom areas, and that is one of the key areas that need to be addressed. I mean, look at Woodward leaving. Woodward leaving is a big, big plus for us, because that guy's a fucking cancer at this football club as well. Just a complete Glazers puppet, yes man, garden gnome looking, Goldbridge looking twat, wasn't he? He was. Ed Woodward, I mean, thank fuck he's out this football club, in all fairness, because he was a complete fucking parasite. He didn't do anything good for us. It was all about making money for the Glazers. Just a wanky banker with a financial background. Pisses me off. So now that he's gone, maybe we can start to move on, progress. But ultimately, the behind the scenes and some of the staff behind the scenes is a big factor for us. Neil Duffin, what's going on? How you doing there, Neil? Yes, lad. He says Frankie de Jong is a pussy. My cat would tank him. Okay, fair enough then, Neil Duffin. Well, yeah, he ain't the most masculine of fellows. Oh, guys, we've got 215 people in here. Thank you for all getting in here. Do drop a like on this video, subscribe. We're going to have a Q&A now. I just wanted to cover all these couple of comments, couple of things quickly, what the main headlines are we discussed. And then Jurian Timber speaks on his future. He said, of course, I can still develop at Ajax. I'm 100% sure of that. I don't have the feeling that I'm done at this club, but I can develop myself at other clubs too. So, you know, he's been speaking on international duty. Rush Mano says, get a director of football in with 10 days until the transfer window opens. Absolute joke. I know, what a shambles, mate. What a shambles. Gungshu, thank you so much for your super chat here, Gungers. Really, really appreciate that, man. And Rush Mano, sorry for your... Did I read it? I did. Let's all get a sue in the chat there for Rush Mano. And also for Gungshi, thank you very much for your super chat. He says... Well said, Pig. Letting Ralph go was a double daymare. Fuck those damn Glazers. Yeah. Because they don't want somebody that says it how it is after games. Oh, you know what? Our players are shite because we've done a terrible job recruitment over the years and we've just a shite-run club, basically. Pretty much how he said it. I mean, not the shite-run club part, but the fact that the players are so bad. He said we need 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 new players. They don't want to hear that. They don't. The Glazers don't want to hear, oh, we need to spend. They don't want somebody that's going to be saying that sort of stuff. They just want a puppet, a yes man. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much there, Gungshi. Okay, so let's get into the live chat then. It's Q&A time. Get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we discussed. De Jong, Ten Hag, Ragnick, any of this sort of stuff that you're interested in. Let us know your thoughts and opinions. I'm going to dip into the live chat. I'm going to stick on for about 10 minutes. We've got to go around about 5 because I'm doing a FIFA stream over on the gaming channel at 5:15 for a quick hour or so. We're doing that regularly over there around about the same time now, building up the gaming channel there with the FIFA streams and stuff. So please do come over and check that out. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. But let's get in the live chat, see what you guys have got to say for yourselves. His name is Tent Peg. Eddie says, Bell 691. Gungshi says 123 likes. Get in there, my son. Thank you, Gungers. Mike B with a super chat says, glad to be back on live with you, Pig. How you doing there, Mikey B? Any thoughts on the last FIFA game this year? It's a sad day, really. I mean, it's good for the competition, mate. If there's multiple developers making different games, all competing with each other, they have to innovate. They'll actually have to try. And they have to make a good game. So I'm hoping that creates innovation. However, it's sad that there will be no FIFA 24 because, well, it's always been FIFA, hasn't it? I've been playing it since the early 90s, mate, since the very first game on the Mega Drive, mate. So it's sad. It's a sad end of an era, but who cares? Himalayan Wanderer says, who is our De Jong backup? Neves, he's not been pursued seriously. Well, I think there maybe have been some feelers there. He hasn't been pursued seriously by Man United yet because it seemed De Jong was our focus and Ten Hag's focus. But now that seems to be dead and off, now we can move on to our next target. Neves makes a heck of a lot of sense. Keshav says, I believe we should chase Neves, Premier League proven plus not exorbitantly expensive. Absolutely great call. 45 to 60 million. Probably closer to the higher end of that spectrum, really, because we've heard comments from Wolves and Bruno Lage like, oh, we want 100 million for the guy. And really, nobody has to sell right now. So there you go. You are going to have to pay probably 55, maybe even 60 million for Neves, which is crazy, really. But that's kind of how it goes to get your man, unfortunately, these days. It's sad, but who cares, says Coachy. Michael Odell says, I'd take the pie back. He could work under Ten Hag. No thanks. No, look, he's a decent player as well, man. And he did develop well after United, but it's different doing it in the fucking, the Gash French league. And then obviously, he's not, I don't think he's had a great season, has he? Now in Spain. McCarter says, what do you mean there's no FIFA? Has the new one been cancelled? So, no, FIFA 23, there is a new FIFA, but then FIFA 24, it's going to be called something else like EA Sports FC or some shit like that. It's going to be Gash. And then FIFA might make their own game. And then somebody else is making a UFL game or something. It's like there's going to be a few different options. It's not going to be called FIFA 24 anyway. Not by EA, not EA Sports version anyway. Maybe FIFA will make their own game, but EA Sports will not. Rajat Felicia says, we could get De Jong. Don't be like, wow, if we get him, says Rajat Felicia. I mean, we could get him, but it depends on Ten Hag if he really wants to go and get him. Plus, it also depends on what he wants. Does De Jong want to come to United? Does he want no Champions League football? Does he actually want to leave Barca? Judging by his quotes we've seen earlier, the answer would be no. Hello there, Nas786. Shrinidi says, swap Maguire for anyone. Literally anybody, please. Quality, mate. Thank you so much, Shrinidi. I agree with that, mate. Swap him for anybody, man. Literally anyone. I swap him for a Doris the tea lady over at Arsenal. She makes a cracking brew. You know what I mean? We've got an update here from Rushmana. Let's go and have a look. What's this then? So, okay, yes, interesting. So we have a little update here that says that United would like to have Jurriën Timber and Frankie de Jong in for medicals by the time that the Dutch national team ends their time, of course, on international duty. But again, it depends on that de Jong interest. This is sort of discussing and talking about it like de Jong is 100% realistic. Of course, we would like that, but it seems like maybe it's not the most realistic unless he is completely pushed out the door by Barcelona. And second choice is Man United, and Ten Hag's there, so he's quite comfortable to come as a second choice. That's the best scenario for us, really, with De Jong. But if I just say move on now, from the comments that he's made in the last literally day, it just doesn't seem to make sense that we get somebody that truly doesn't have their heart in the project, because he won't. He can't truly have his heart in the project, can he? Okay. What's up there, Ted Savannah? How you doing there, boss? Great to see you in here, mate. Ashley Bailey says, time to move on to another player. De Jong was never going to come to United. Ruben Neves plus Conrad Lehmer. That'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. I like your style there, Ashley Bailey. Conrad Lehmer available for not a huge amount of money as well. Such a good option as well. Right age as well. Interesting signing from, development point of view. Definitely a decent option. So Ashley Bailey, good shout. And then Neves to me makes a lot of sense. My personal two midfield, let's ask the live chat, but my personal two midfield signings of preference would be Neves and Tielemans. If we could pull that off, I'd be great. Oh, Batman Knife Fan says, pig, I have that shirt. Nice one, mate. It's a good shirt, isn't it? It's a very good shirt, lad. 2008 shirt, isn't it? Enable him to focus on the first team and critical issues. Who's on the back of yours, mate? Scholesy. It's only Scholesy. Shamaraz Khan says, United need to focus on what we have. No one half-decent signing for us, says Shamaraz Khan. We can't focus on what we've got now, because what we've got now is a steaming pile of gash. If we were to try and get the best out of this current team of players, they'd still probably finish sixth. They're fucking awful. We've got Harry Maguire, the human fridge at the back as our captain, lad. We definitely need to sign players. King Charles says, we are slow with the signings. It's annoying. All the club is doing is showing Ten Hag. Sorry, where's that comment gone? Showing Ten Hag walking around in his suit. Right, yeah. So, I know, it's very slow as always, isn't it? You'd have Neves and no one from Arsenal, says Arsenal. Says Neil Duffin, sorry. He'd have Neves and no one from Arsenal. Pig have to consider the professionalism approach in regards to the De Jong saga. He may well end up signing. Yeah, he may well end up signing Talk MU. Yeah, and it is professionalism to say that he's, still happy at Barca and all that kind of thing. Never rule out a signing. We've seen lots of players say, oh yeah, I'm dead committed to staying at this football club. Next thing you know, they're looking outside a stadium trying to knock on the door to get in. It's like these things do happen quite a lot. So, and it's all part of the negotiation game. But I still think it's, at best, 50-50 this transfer. It's realistic that we have to start looking at other midfielders to go for, because Jong apparently doesn't want to come because we don't have Champions League football. And he's also said that he's super happy at Barca. So, yeah, listen, if Barca just say, look, Frankie, mate, sorry, but you've got to be sold, lad. We have to sell you. You have to be sold. The club is in a financial calamity, and you need to be sold to generate cash for this football club. If you truly love Barca, you'll go, mate. Simple as that kind of thing. And then he'll be like, well, okay, well, you don't want me, I'm gone. And then he'll go and play for Man United and probably do okay, yeah. But it's not the ideal scenario, is it? But I agree, it could still happen. It could still happen. We'll never rule it out. But he'd rather stay at Barca, says Bo 691 exactly. The only one coming to your missus, says Madhouse. Talk MU says, thanks, Roshi. Kante and De Ligt, says Rajat. Well, yeah, get the old band back together. De Ligt, Donny, get De Jong in too. De Ligt would be a good signing. Definitely not realistic, though. Too much money. Kante, I suppose, could happen. If Chelsea really want to offload and they don't want to, lose this player on a free in a couple of seasons or whenever it may be, his contract runs out as well, then it makes sense for them to cash in. There's some talks of maybe 45 million quid could get you Kante right now. Kesha says Kante and Neves. What a couple of signings that would be. Mate, actually, do you know what? On paper, like hearing those names, Kante and Neves, that sounds raw, lad. Yeah, that sounds raw. Kante and Neves. Kante is a quality CDM. And he's also, good just playing it out from the back and stuff like that. And can even get you a goal every now and then. He's just a good footballer. If we had him, I think we would be such a more solid, stronger team. We really would. But I can't see a world where Chelsea would let Kante come to Manchester United. I guess if we're paying more money than anybody else. But surely they'd rather offload him to a club abroad. And you'd think that a team like, I don't know, PSG would be interested in a player like N'Golo Kante. But... yeah, I mean, I would take him. Smash a 1 if you would take Kante. Smash a 2 if you would not. It would be foolish to turn our noses up to one of the best CDMs in sort of world football, He still is, and he's only 31. He is a bit injury prone. But for 2 seasons, for a short-term fix, could be pretty decent, guys. Could actually be pretty decent. Kante for 45 all day, says Bell. Can't we convert Donny as a CDM/CM? Maybe as a deep line playmaker, but he's just not the most physical, defender. I don't think he's the best defender. Madhouse says 1. JR says no. Bell and Will's things. And Simon say yes. Basuma coming to United has 0% probability, says Himalayan Wanderer. And you think why? Because maybe the fact of his situation with some of that off-the-field stuff. Hey, we got a new member of the channel, Andy Young. Andy Young, bro. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel, Andy. Get in there, my son. Let's go. Thank you for re-upping that membership, bro. Can we get a big love heart in the live chat there? And your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji in there to welcome Andy Young to the channel membership. Thank you for becoming a member of the Bacon Brigade, my son. Appreciate you, dude. Kante using us, methinks contract renewal discussion, says Rushmano. Yes, I can understand that would be a good thing to do from a PR point of view as well. Does make a bit of sense. But then again, how could he really be using us that much? Because, well, he's still contracted at the football club. So unless he's going to threaten to leave them at the end of the contract for free, but it's still a couple of years deal, isn't it? So I don't know. I mean, end of the day, Chelsea hold the keys to his transfer figure. So to his transfer by whether or not they want to accept a fee for him. So I suppose they don't want to lose him for nothing. I suppose they would like to cash in, but also maybe it is just, maybe they are having negotiations. We did see some reports last week that there were transfer discussions with Kante. So it's just all speculative stuff, isn't it? He's not the most realistic, put it that way. More realistic players would be, Ruben Neves. Tielemans, I think, would be more realistic than Kante. But if Chelsea offered him to us, I would take him, yeah. Luan France says no. Yeah, it's kind of going back on what we said, though, about Ten Hag looking for a younger caliber of player who's, going to try and progress and improve themselves and take the step up to United and is desperate to play for United. It's kind of going against that, though. Ashley says Conrad Lema and Ruben Neves. Conrad, where's that gone? Ruben Neves and Conrad Lema plus Ericsson on a free. Yeah, that would be great, Ashley. Ericsson and Neves, says Michael Odell. Chelsea losing lots of players this summer, says Mark Wallace. Yeah, that's absolutely true. You just read Eric Ten Hag wants Mason Mount. It was a Sun article. Fair play, Simon Almeida. What are you going to do with that Sun article next, mate? Wipe your ass with it, lad. Nunes is not coming to United, says JR. How do you know that, JR? They call you Mystic JR because you predict these things? Forget Tielemans. He wants UCL, says Mark Wallace. Maybe so. But a lot of these players, we've just heard. I mean, look at this link we've got. So we understand that Arsenal are interested in Tielemans as well. But as you've just said, he wants Champions League football. They don't have Champions League football either. If there's no offers on the table from Champions League football clubs, then he's going to have to go to a club that doesn't have Champions League football. And I think Man United would be a high priority there if that was the case. Thank you, Rush Manu. This is a great show, guys. Thank you so much, Rush Manu, for all the updates as always. Check out Transfers UTD on Twitter. Put your link in the live chat there, Rush Manu, my Don. And if you want daily updates on Twitter, Rush Manu's the guy to go to. His Twitter channel, his Twitter account, it puts all the latest United updates on. Very, very good in the know account there. Bell691 says Tyson. Exactly. All rumours says Marky Wallace. Neves is only 40 to 50, says Ali. Maybe, but would they sell him for that, though? It depends. I mean, unless he's truly want away and they've just got a player who's not going to play for them on their hands, would they accept 40 million from him? I wouldn't if I was them. I'd be trying to get as much money as possible. Perisic to Spurs pick. Do you think we missed a trick on that one? Man, we've been linked. How many times we've been linked to Perisic, eh? I mean, yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? But nah, not really, mate. I think we've got bigger fish to fry in different areas of the team right now. Thank you, Vincent. Says, great show, Pig, but it's a shame we have found the truth out that no one is signing for the club this season. We'll all have to pray for it in January, says Vincent. Well, I mean, the transfer window's not even open yet, Vincent, so it's not even open yet. We will definitely sign players this summer window, definitely, several players. Because we've got 5 or 6 players going this summer on freeze, we know we have to sign players. Bastoni to Spurs, says Rajat. Yeah, that looks like it could happen as well with Conte there too. And he would be a good signing for them, absolutely. Tielemans going to Spurs, says Shrindi MS. Neves will go up. I think it'll be 55 million as well, Himalayan Wanderer. I see Neves being more towards the 60 million mark, says Andy. Great shout, great shout. Yeah, Sonic says we've been linked to Perisic for years. I still remember that swap deal offer from Martial back in 2017. No more old timers. Exactly, CC1. Hey, Liquor in the front. What's going on? Batman Night Fan says transfer market opens tomorrow. It actually opens on the 10th of June, so in about 10 days' time. Yeah, there it is. Rosh Manu's put his channel in there, guys, his Twitter account. Can you see that? It says, take a look at Transfers MUSC. The handle on Twitter is transfers_UTD, and there's a link to it there. Rush Manu's put it in the chat. Go and give him a follow, guys, on Twitter. Go and check him out. Top Gun, old or new, Pig? I've not seen the new one, bud. The old one's fucking cheesy as hell. I mean, people love that movie. I wasn't really into it. But there you go. Rushmano says we got 145 likes. Thank you so much, Rushmano, you absolute legend, and everybody else. We're going to wrap it up here then, folks. But I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching. Let's see if we can get 150 likes, actually, before we go. Smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the show at all. It's free. Drop a like. Also, Kung Fu cancel the crap out of the subscribe button as well if you're new. Come back after this video is finished. Make sure you get your comments in about anything we've discussed in the not live comments also. Subscribe, click the bell icon. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch at Flying Pig United. So do follow us up all over there. And check out the website for your latest United news, unitedflyinghigh.com. Thank you, Himalayan Wanderer, Rushmano, Shrinidi, Batman, Gungshi, Aiming for Gaming, The Special One, Talk MU, T Mill, David Lee, Madhouse, Kingslayer, Gungshi, Vincent, yeah, FIFA Tonight, JR, Dizzy Red Devil as well. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Himalayan Wanderer. Naz786, Batman Night Fan. There's the latest no bullshit news for you guys. Nothing has progressed to a stage where we can say it's done or there's anything 100% concrete agreed between clubs, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks that we'll get to it. Maybe we could see something announced sooner, but because these players are now on international duty, it just means that the likeliness of anything getting wrapped up is obviously a lot lower. Now, in principle, there could be still reports maybe tomorrow or soon that Man United and Jurriën Timber have reached a deal in principle, you know, for the transfer, etc. That could be announced, but obviously these things are going to take a bit of time to wrap up. But there's the latest updates. We'll tell you what's going on as and when it comes. Thank you, Shrinidi. Thank you, Vincent, Keshav, JR, Mikato, your legend as well. Simon Sakui as well. Thank you, bud. 0 Degrees, Star Rage, Vincent, Stephen Kelly, Dizzy, Rush Mano. We got 150 likes. That's awesome. Thank you, Gary Butler. By the way, everyone, go over to the stream at the top of the live chat. You go to my gaming channel. It's called Flying Pig Gaming, and we are doing a FIFA stream over there. So make sure you go over there. We'll be on there in 15 minutes time or 10 minutes time. So please do check it out. It's on the gaming channel. If you're not subscribed to the gaming channel, there's the link. FIFA stream in the live chat. Go and subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming, and we'll be live over there in 10 minutes time. So see you then. Thank you everyone for watching. That's it from me. Have a great day. That's it for the United news. We'll give you the latest later on, and you know, throughout the next few days, updates if there's anything big. Catch you soon, guys. Thank you for tuning in. See you later on. See.